All right. Great updates as the unelected US Traitor drumpf buries its head farther and farther up its own ass. There's no way for drumpf, the traitor, to extricate itself at this point. The water keeps getting higher, and drumpf is farther and farther under the surface. Eventually the creep will drown. Poor little SCROTUS, the little-handed, serial bankruptcy filing idiot. Trump says leaking is illegal.
Papers are being leaked, things are being leaked. It's criminal action, criminal act.
Really? Huh. Domestic leaks that protect the United States of America from drumpf's appointees, like National Security Director and U.S. Traitor Michael Flynn, are illegal? But drumpf, calling on our enemy, Putin, and Russia to leak information about our government officials and private citizens is acceptable. Let's remember what drumpf said. Let's just take a look at unelected U.S. Traitor drumpf's own words then.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
It is much better that we Americans know what drumpf and his nominees that he's installed into our government are doing, especially when they amount to treason and an undermining of our democracy and our elections. Drumpf is more concerned with leaks than its own appointees' treason against our country. The most astonishing thing is that drumpf had known about this for months. Acting Attorney General, whom drumpf fired allegedly because she would not honor his illegal unconstitutional Muslim ban, told drumpf that U.S. traitor Mike Flynn, who was consorting with Russian military and intelligence, could be blackmailed by them, which is certainly true. He's a liar, he lied to the American people, and then drumpf, who knew about it, continued to lie and tell others to lie on his behalf. So why did drumpf fire Sally Yates, the Attorney General? It might appear that it was over the Muslim ban, but now it might look like drumpf did it because she could release information about her warning to drumpf about U.S. traitor Mike Flynn. One way or another, drumpf didn't want her in there. She warned him about traitor Flynn. Drumpf did nothing. Unelected U.S. traitor drumpf says it makes all its own decisions.
Who are you consulting with consistently so that you're ready on day one?
I'm speaking with myself, number one, because I have a very good brain.
So did it tell U.S. traitor Michael Flynn to try and help our enemy Russia and Putin subvert our democracy and our election? There are only two ways to look at this, and we'll look at both. Either drumpf deliberately told Flynn to try and betray America by aiding our enemy Russia in tampering with our democratic election, or drumpf appointed him, and even though he was warned by attorney generals, by the FBI, by numerous intelligence agencies that Flynn was a risk and was dealing with Russia in this rather treasonous way, and he just ignored it or didn't know what to do, which means he's incompetent. If drumpf didn't know and disregarded warnings of traitor Flynn by the FBI and Attorney General Sally Yates, drumpf is incompetent. And if drumpf knew, drumpf is guilty of treason. Those are the two ways, period. There's no other way. drumpf's klan was speaking with Russia to undermine and subvert our democracy and election for over a year before the actual election took place. Now, to go back to the same question, which is the most deeply concerning, did drumpf actively and deliberately tell U.S. traitor Flynn to commit treason? The amount of contact that drumpf's Klan had with our enemy Russia is extraordinarily alarming. Drumpf is under investigation now by 17 of our 17 U.S. intelligence agencies. And Drumpf loves Putin.
You know, Putin, they want me to disavow Putin. Putin of Russia. Involved with Putin, for I have nothing to do with Putin. I've never spoken to him. I was in Russia. I was in Moscow recently, and I spoke indirectly and directly with President Putin, who could not have been nicer. I don't know anything about him. If we can get along with Russia, that's very good.
As far as Putin is concerned, I think Putin's been a very strong leader for Russia, but he's been a lot stronger than our leader, that I can tell you.
Because it would be great to have Russia with a good relationship.
Drumpf has a long record of admiring and heaping gratuitous comments onto our enemy, dictator Putin. It's ghastly and offensive. No other U.S. president has ever spoken like that. Here's what Reagan said.
As good Marxist-Leninists, the Soviet leaders have openly and publicly declared that the only morality they recognize is that which will further their cause, which is world revolution. Some would have us accept them at their word and accommodate ourselves to their aggressive impulses. But if history teaches anything, it teaches that simple-minded appeasement or wishful thinking about our adversaries is folly.
Wouldn't it be nice if we actually got along with people? Wouldn't it be nice if we actually got along, as an example, with Russia? I'm all for it.
Drumpf also tried to cover up U.S. Traitor Flynn's actions. If it weren't for our media, we would all be in the dark about this. And Flynn, a U.S. traitor, would still be working with Russia to undermine the United States of America. And Drumpf and his Klan were lying and lying for months about it. He had that idiot and liar, Sean Spicer, lying and deflecting and lying. And he had that degenerate, anti-American piece of shit, perpetual liar, Smelly Ann Cuntley, lying and lying and lying and lying. It's all Cuntley knows how to do is lie. That is her job, because she's representing the biggest liar in America, unelected SCROTUS Donald Trump.
Yes, General Flynn does enjoy the full confidence of the president.
Is Bannon involved in this too? He seems to be very close to unelected U.S. Traitor Drumpf. Bannon needs to be investigated in the exact same way that the Drumpf Klan is being investigated by our U.S. intelligence agencies now. Drumpf fired U.S. Traitor Flynn, and then after having fired U.S. Traitor Mike Flynn, says Flynn is a wonderful guy who is being treated unfairly.
Uncle Flynn, General Flynn, is a wonderful man. I think he's been treated very, very unfairly by the media.
Really? A U.S. traitor who's being treated unfairly? Maybe Drumpf ought to look up the word traitor and treason. Unfairly treated? Please. He should be hung or shot by a firing squad. Look up Section 18. Look up how the United States deals with our traitors. We put them to death. And nobody supports the death penalty like the all-loving, pro-life, GOP, anti-American, terrorist, woman-hating religious cult. They should be dying, literally physically dying, to hang this creep and traitor Flynn. Drumpf said he has a great brain.
I'm speaking with myself, number one, because I have a very good brain.
And the best memory. He has the best memory and a great brain. Yet he doesn't seem to recall that he was warned by the FBI and the Attorney General that Mike Flynn, a U.S. traitor, was a risk and peril to the safety and national security of the United States of America, where Drumpf had installed him as a guard of our national security. We had a traitor who was benefiting our enemy, Russia and Putin, standing at our gate. Drumpf also says his Klan does whatever he tells them to do. So again, we return to, did unelected SCROTUS Drumpf tell Flynn to commit treason against this country, this already great America. Trump claims real news is fake.
As I call it, the fake media.
Well, if real news is fake and fake news broke the story on Flynn, why did Flynn resign? Why did Drump fire him if that's all fake news? What we can assume from that is it's real news, and the only one lying is fake President Drump, who's an unelected US traitor itself. US intelligence agencies are now withholding US intelligence from unelected US traitor Drump in order to protect America, the same way that leaking that information about US traitor Flynn protected America. Yet Drump would call this creep a great guy, a wonderful guy who's being unfairly treated by the media that broke the story on him as a traitor, protecting us from Flynn and his treasonous actions. Drump must show its taxes. Little Drump Jr. made a statement on the record saying that their businesses have been involved with Russia, our enemy Russia, and Russia's money for decades. He said, "We have a lot of money pouring in from Russia. Let's see Drump's taxes. Let's see its affiliations with our enemy Russia, how he's conducted business, who he's borrowed from, how much he's borrowed, how much he's paid back, how much he still owes, how many times he's defaulted. He's defaulted in Canada recently on a shitty Drump hotel. He's defaulted just in the last couple months on his shitty Washington, D.C. stinkhole hotel, that dump, the Drump dump. He owes and owes and owes. He got 3 liens against him. He never pays his bills because he doesn't have any money. We must have an independent investigation of Drump's entire clan. Pence also praised Russia the same way that Drump has been doing.
I think it's inarguable that Vladimir Putin has been a stronger leader in his country than Barack Obama has been in this country.
Every single thing we warned about with this incompetent, unelected SCROTUS Drump is now proving to be 100% true. He's incompetent, unreliable, treasonous, not transparent in any way, completely hides every single thing he does, cloaks everything, and hopes to continue operating like a dictator in a dictator state, like North Korea, where they only allow the government news to tell people what's happening, which is the equivalent of lying to them on a daily basis and only telling them what they want. Kim Jong-un goes on TV and says they won the Olympics. He says he played 18 holes of golf and got a score of 18. If we let unelected US traitor and SCROTUS Drump control the media, we would be told that he got an 18-hole golf game every time he played. Drump never, ever tells the truth. He is the consummate liar, a perpetual liar, and so is his entire clan. How long will America put up with this unelected, incompetent traitor, Drump? Republican moron Devin Nunes said, "Leaks are big and illegal." Domestic leaks by our real news exposing Flynn's treason are helpful. Where Drump asking our enemy Russia to leak information in order to subvert our vote and in some way discredit our popular vote winner, a historic, gigantic margin of victory in the popular vote, the people's vote, America's vote for should have been President Hillary R. Clinton. Drump did not win. Subverting an election, suppressing votes, obstructing votes, and then claiming you've won isn't a win. It's called cheating to direct an outcome. It lost. Drump lost. He always loses. Serial bankruptcy filing bum who owes the world an enormous amount of money and will never be able to pay it ever. America first means America first. The GOP, anti-American terrorist, woman-hating religious cult needs to get on the same page. How much longer will the GOP cult support and enable a kook, an unelected US traitor like Drumpf, who lives in its own made-up fantasy world? When will they start doing the right thing and be part of America? If they don't take notice of that 3 million vote historic margin win of Hillary Clinton's, this country is in big, big trouble. If those assholes, those un-American idiots, keep voting against America, they are going to have a revolution of gigantic proportions. Imagine if those 3 million Americans surrounded the White House and demanded unelected US traitor and SCROTUS Drumpf's head on a stick. What would happen then? Now, we don't condone violence. We think it's the wrong approach. We need the Republican cult to do their goddamn fucking job and throw this asshole, unelected piece of shit, Drumpf the traitor, out on its ass with its entire klan. Racist piece of shit Bannon, lowlife Pence, who would also praise Russia in a second over its own duly elected president. It's pathetic. Do your goddamn fucking jobs, GOP. Be American for once in your goddamn fucking lives.
Involved with Putin, for I have nothing to do with Putin. I've never spoken to him.
I was in Russia. I was in Moscow recently, and I spoke indirectly and directly with President Putin, who could not have been nicer.